And would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your full name.
Denise Gentile.
What is your birth name, your main name?
Miscavige. Miscavige. Miscavige.
What was your name at the time you became a member?
Denise Miscavige.
You're currently a member of the Church of Scientology?
I am.
And did you hear from Thomas Brennan that night of February 16, 2007?
I did.
All right. What's the first time you heard from him?
He called on the way home from work, and he needed to borrow a book.
What book did he need to borrow?
Book of E-meter drills.
Was he an auditor?
No.
Was he self-auditing?
No.
What's an e-meter drill book used for?
Well, in the process of selling books at fairs and things, you can do a thing called a pinch test, and it requires that you be able to read the needle on a meter. So he had expressed some uncertainty, and he just wanted to get the drill book and practice.
Was it his book?
That was my book.
You know, so it was a good like home improvement book, and I was doing an electrical job that was coming up, and I wanted to refresh, like get more knowledgeable on how to do the job.
Was it unusual for him to call you so late at night?
No.
This wasn't something that could wait until Saturday morning? What type of, how would you describe Tom Brennan's appearance at that time? Anything out of the ordinary?
No, just regular. Fine.
Did he mention where he had been?
I knew he had been at work.
Where?
I don't know if I asked him what he did. I don't know if he was working at the organization in Tampa or if he was selling books. I'm not sure, but I know whatever functions he was doing, he was performing his job.
What's the next thing that happened?
The phone rang, and Tom said, "Oh my God, Denise. I believe he said Kyle's dead." I said,
How soon after that he left your house did he call you to tell you that?
I would say almost the exact amount of time it took him to drive down to his house and walk upstairs. Maybe 10, 12 minutes.
Do you have any idea why, of all the people in his life, he would call you other than his own wife or 911 or someone else?
Probably because I'm his closest friend at that time.
How long did that conversation last when he called you up and said that Kyle either shot himself or committed suicide? How long did that last?
It lasted the amount of time it takes for him to say, "Oh my God, Kyle's dead. Kyle, blah, blah, blah. What should I do? Call 911. Kyle, blah, blah, blah. What should I do? Kyle, blah, blah, blah. What should I do?"
So when you got downtown Clearwater with Tom Brennan, you met up with your daughter, Taylor, right? Mm-hmm. And then who decided to go up into the apartment?
I decided, I ran up, I looked around, there's nothing, and downstairs said it's fine. I mean, it was all cleaned up. There was there was nothing like They cleaned it up well.
Who cleaned it up?
Whoever was the police and all of those people. Like, no one had been in the apartment prior to that. In other words, there was no brain debris or anything on the walls or floor or on the bed. There was anything that was, I don't even think there was anything that was bloody or anything.
Do you have any idea who cleaned up the apartment?
No idea.
When you were interviewed by Detective Bowling twice in person, did you have an attorney at that time?
No, I didn't have an attorney at that time.
Did you ever retain an attorney?
Yes.
When?
A few months after the incident,
What incident?
after Kyle's death.
Why do you call your son's death an incident?
Because I thought that was the proper word for it.
So you left the state fair, you said around 10 p.m.,
Yeah, we closed the booth at 10.
and you drove straight home?
Yep.
And did you go straight to your apartment or somewhere else?
Yeah, I went to Denise's on the way down. I remember I had to pick up like a book or something from her, it was on the way home. So I called her on the causeway and said, "Hey, listen, can I pick up that book?" And I was just going to pick it up and then go. And then I just met her in her foyer, and she just, we just talked a little bit. How did it go? Blah blah blah. How's the state fair or something like that. And I said, I got to go. I got to go home and see Kyle. So I was only there for maybe 5 minutes, not even.
Yeah. And why was it so important to pick up a book that's so late at night?
I don't know. It was just one of these books that I wanted to read. I forget what it was about. It was something that interested me. It was some kind of handyman book. It was like it was something that Jerry had that dealt with electrical work, and I wanted to learn more about how to do it. So it was a good home improvement book, and I was doing an electrical job that was coming up, and I wanted to refresh, get more knowledgeable on how to do the job. So she, gave it to me. Yeah.
What book did he need to borrow?
Book of E-meter drills.
This was Jerry Gentile's book?
I guess. I'm assuming it was. I don't
That was my book.
really know for sure. But it was just when he's home improvement book.
He was doing handyman work?
No, he never did. But I think he had just being a guy, he had some stuff that was he had a bunch of tools and everything, but I don't know that he was Mr. Handyman, He was just one of these guys, who doesn't have some kind of thing in their house that deals with repairing something,
So what time do you think you actually got to Denise's house?
I'm thinking about 11 o'clock.
Did you call Kyle before you got to Denise's house?
Yeah, I did. I was going to call him and tell him, I'll be there in about 15 minutes. I'm just going to pick up a book from Denise. I left him a message,
And at what time did you plan on taking Kyle out to dinner?
I wasn't going to take him out to dinner. I was just going to pick up something on the road and bring it home. Yeah, I was thinking it was just a courtesy, hey Kyle, you hungry? You want me to pick up something for you on the road? I could stop at Kentucky Fried Chicken, Yeah, that kind of thing. Just bring it home. I didn't know if he was hungry. I just wanted to call. I'd call him every day to check up on him. You just do that as a father, right? You call your son, see how he's doing.
So you left Denise's house at about 11 p.m.?
11:05. I was I was there 5 minutes.
Okay. And you went to your apartment on Cleveland Street?
Right.
Did you give the police your son's address?
No.
Why not?
I don't remember ever saying that. I don't remember ever being asked that question. I just remember that I could see the lights flashing, and I could hear the sirens, and I went outside my front door, and I could hear somebody rushing up the stairs. And I said, up here, quickly. And then an officer came upstairs, and then he said, and he went in there, and then shortly thereafter, a bunch of other guys came up, you know, the emergency medical team, and everybody was kind of rushing around and getting in there, and they checked him, and I remember I just looked in the room, and then he said, you know, they were addressing the situation right there. And then after that, I remember hearing him calling in, you know, like, you know, he's deceased and blah, blah, blah. They were talking to some other people, and then he sat down and he asked me, you know, to give me a statement. And I just told him I just came home, and I was, you know, working and blah, blah, blah. And I gave him, you know, I'm sure the statement's in writing.
Let me ask you this. Did you leave Denise's house on Magnolia, you said around 11 p.m., right?
Like 11:05, yeah.
11:05, okay. And it takes you how long to get to your apartment?
About 15 minutes.
It took you that long?
Wasn't that far, no. It's like 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
Okay, all right. All right, so you're at your apartment somewhere like 11:20, 11:25.
Yeah.
You testified. All right. So here's the question. How long did you stay on the phone with Denise when you called her after you discovered Kyle?
Minute, not even.
Okay. All right. I mean, if we give you an extra 5 minutes and make a 20-minute drive, you know, 11:30 at night, and you call Denise, the police report says you didn't make the call to 911 until 11 minutes after midnight.
Huh.
So,
Well, maybe I got the times all mixed up. I don't know. I'm just, you know, I can't be sure about all the times. You know, I really don't know.
okay.
I'm just kind of like, I'm guessing like at what I typically do, because you know, I've done that route so many times.
All right.
Well, objection to form, are you saying that's what time the police report says?
Yeah, I just saw that, yeah. Now, in your answer to the complaint filed in this action, you said he died either from homicide or suicide. What homicide what are you thinking about when you said that in your answer?
I don't remember ever saying that.